Hello, this is the Artful Wizard, and thank you for joining me again on another art adventure. This week we're going to be doing Dream of the Endless from the Sandman comic by Neil Gaiman. Recently with a new audiobook out. So check that out. But I was a big fan of this character, big fan of the story. I loved everything about the graphics that I read, because I didn't read them in the single issues. I read them in the collected editions later, but absolutely fell in love with how Neil tied all these stories together. Not just, writing a new story, but tying it into the DC mythos and bringing back some old characters like Cain and Abel from the House of Mystery and House of Secrets series, which was if you don't know, it was a horror comic, not unlike Tales of the Crypt. And they were hosted by Cain and Abel, the biblical characters. But Neil wrote those characters back into this modern storyline, and I felt it to be absolutely wonderful. It made me go back and try to find those books, in which I ended up buying the DC Essentials collection of the House of Mystery. But he also tied in Greek myth and story with the Song of Orpheus special edition comic, which follows the Orpheus myth from Greek mythology, and the tying the three witches from as of the Fates with the Shakespeare plays. So there was a lot of heart and soul that went into creating the world that is the Endless, and the very idea of the character just being a ethereal manifestation of an idea. So that's what I was playing around with the art here. So I was mixing India inks with waters, but mixing India ink with water and just letting it play. I'm also using the paper for watercolors. That way, it really seems anytime you use water or any type of watercolor, say even alcohol markers, work well on watercolor paper versus like a regular notebook paper. You get a lot of bleed. But that's what I was having a lot of fun in here, and I'm actually using an old brush tip pen that I keep around. Even though it's out of ink, I still use it to dip, because you can still use that fine point. But I tried to work those watercolor ideas in so that Dream looked like he was surrounded by this mist, like he was coming out of this mist, this dream state, this dream realm. And I had a lot of fun with this one. And I tried to play with open spaces and shadows, or the lack thereof shadows. And I did get to play around a little bit with using the whiteout pen in this piece. But yeah, I am very glad you guys decided to come and hang out with me. This was a very, very fun piece, and I was trying to ramp myself up getting ready for Inktober, because this wasn't an official Inktober, but it definitely felt like a good way to ease myself into preparing myself for Inktober. So I do thank you guys for sticking around and learning. This was a short video this week. I didn't really have a lot to say, but if you want to support me, you can support me at Patreon or follow me on Instagram or Twitch, which I will put the links up at the end of the video. So thank you very much, and you guys hang loose.